mean, I think all of us, no matter what industry we're in at some point have had some kind of thought that we should have a plan for our lives, for our careers. And we might imagine what that looks like, whether it is getting a certain job, then getting a promotion, or working with certain kinds of clients. And you sort of have this sense like, well, there must be a way to get there. And the challenge is that I think it puts you in a place to be thinking linearly about like, you know, the steps to get there, or that there is a right path, or that there is one journey, when really there's a lot. What do better outcomes look like for you, whether you're an organization or a person, a human? And I love that that question doesn't presuppose that you have a plan. It doesn't presuppose that you need to be looking a year out, 5 years out, 10 years out. It just asks you to look at where are you now, and what could that look like tomorrow or later? Like, what does better look like to you? When you think about a career, professional development, it can feel overwhelming and like you're losing out, or you're losing time, or I should have made these decisions, when really it's like, no, where are you right now? And what would it look like to do different or do better, whatever that looks like for you? And that could, again, be in your life, your work, your job, or it could be, or in your friendships, your family, your community. But I think what this does is, again, it's this freedom just to talk more human with our clients. And again, I come back to asking questions, and I think about, like, I come to our clients and our projects, I'm not as a subject matter expert. I don't have to know everything about your policy, your issue, but I do have to ask good questions. And I do get to be the person in the room that when everybody else is talking about thought leadership and visibility and whatever other metrics are there that we want to measure, I'm allowed to step back and say, like, okay, but what are we really trying to do? And like, so who cares about that?
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to be?
Right. And so for, you know, to what ends, like, what does that really look like? Again, using your framework, what does that look like to you? What does a better thought leadership outcome look like to you? I've had this a similar conversation, and a client has said, okay, well, what that means to us, what we want is we want to be in the room. Like, when conversations are happening that affects us, we want to be in the room. We want to be asked. And you can see how, when saying it that way, that just really set the platform for us to think about a great strategy and campaign and partnerships, and what does it take to be in the room versus, okay, so how do we raise your visibility, you know, numbers, and how do we get this up? Like, it becomes, like you said, Eric, much more human. It's real, it's tangible. I can see it. I can brief my creative team. Like, I see the pieces coming together versus just looking at humans and our goals in numbers. Who we are as an agency is really important to us. And I think when applying these principles to how we manage our people, you know, for me, that means we treat each other like humans, like people. And right. And I think, Eric, what you even said about bringing vulnerability into the room, I think the quality of conversations I've had with, whether it's my, you know, my partners, my peers, people I manage, have been so much better and richer and truer post-pandemic than maybe pre, because I think we've come to a place where we're able to say, I don't know more. Like, I don't know, or let's see, or let's try it, or what do you think? And I feel like with this framework of like from better, it opens you up to sort of think about, okay, you don't have to have the right answer. You can have the next answer, or just realizing that bringing your vulnerability into a conversation or the room brings more creative outcomes. It brings more possibility and more ideas out. And as a creative agency and a strategic agency, that's what we want. We need ideas that come from people that are creative and are going to change the way people sort of think or feel or act. And I think we can only do that by looking at a problem in a very human way and talking with each other in like real ways of, here's what we know, here's what we don't, here's the gaps, let's figure it out. I think we're more open to the idea that there is no one way to do something, and there's no right way. And I think younger generations are kind of like, you say that's the path? No, I want to go over here. You want me to do it that way? Like, no, I already did that, and I did this 5 different ways. Like, I think we're being more open to like, there's other ways we can do stuff. Like, let's just try it and go. And
I love that.
Yeah.